guys so much for still coming out. I know Matt did such a good job putting this together. And I was listening to Ray or Sean, this is happening. But I was delighted in the church. That was an option. So thank you also to Lee and the church for allowing us to be here and we won. But there's also something that is really special about having this vigil here in church, in a place of worship, where so many of the silver light movement began. It just feels right. So I also really appreciate everyone that spoke before me, because I know you guys know who John Lewis is. And I'm going to take a little detour. I will come back to the point, I promise, but I want you to walk down this road with me. I have 2 children who are wonderful, loving, kind, and beautiful. They also read my speech this evening, and that was the only correction they have. But seriously though, my children are 8 and 9 years old, and like many people over the pandemic, we spent a lot of time together watching television. And we decided that we were going to let them watch the Marvel movies. They're old enough now. I will admit a lot of it had to do with my husband and I wanting to watch the Marvel movies. And they were there all of the time. So we did it. We finally did it. And my oldest daughter has 2 favorites. They're very clearly her favorites. She loves Spider-Man and she loves Captain America. Now, I don't know how many people are comic book fans. I was an original comic book person as a kid with all of the oldies. I love the movies now. But it's really interesting because the 2 characters she loves the most, yes, they have superpowers, but they also have a lot of character. These are the 2 characters that genuinely are looking after people, that don't have the shady little code, that genuinely always try to do the right thing. And I love that she's attracted to people who want to do the right thing. But we also watched Good Trouble, the John Lewis documentary recently. And I don't know if everyone who's had a chance to see that. So there is a lot to unpack. We had to pause several times so I can explain what was going on. Now I'm a homeschooling mother, so we have gone over different things over the years. They're now moving into the 4th grade. I remember when we had to learn about colonization. The first time we learned about slavery. The first time we saw a picture of people chained. Those were very hard conversations to have. I remember learning about, teaching them about Indigenous Americans. And this year, we had to learn about World War II and Nazis and concentration camps. My daughter was livid. She said, I'm not ready to learn this stuff. How dare you? And in fact, when my husband got home, she sat down, she had quite a few words with him about why do I have to learn about concentration camps? It's not right, I'm not old enough, I just can't be. It was a hard evening, but I sat her down and I said, I understand, and I'm really, really sorry that we have to have these conversations. But we have to have these conversations. I have to teach you, because the same thing that's happening, that happened before, is happening now. I pointed out the 9-year-old little girl that got pepper sprayed. She wasn't old enough for that, and that happened right on our street. Daniel Crude happened around the corner, because on our streets, these things are still happening, these things that people do that are terrible and unfair and unjust, and I know you don't understand, because I don't understand. I don't. But they are happening, we need to know about them, and we need to fight against them. So we were watching Good Trouble, and we had a conversation about the difference between superheroes and real heroes. Now, superheroes typically have some sort of special powers, crazy abnormal intelligence, lots of money, something that makes them different. While real heroes have to face all of the world's challenges with usually just a lot of determination and grit. I don't think anyone here would deny that John Lewis was a real hero. He put his body and life on the line during the civil rights movements, and he transitioned that into legislative battles and victories for decades. And as we watched Good Trouble, again, I had to pause a few times. And in particular, it was during the Freedom Riders when people were being physically abused, hit, punched, kicked, spat on, food thrown at them. Again, my children wanted to know why. I still don't have a good answer for that. But I think the real difference is what they didn't do. And often when we think of heroes and we think of winning, we think of strength. We think of physical strength. But John Lewis had more than that. How much emotional, mental, spiritual strength must you have not to hit someone back who's just battling you? Not to hit someone back who has kicked you, who has spent your entire life denying you simple freedoms. There is so much strength in those actions, so much self-control, so much respect. But more than that, there was love. There was love for our country. There was love for our fellow countrymen. There was a love for the vision of the world that he believed in, that he believed was attainable. And maybe not attainable in his lifetime or his children's lifetime, but it was going to happen one day. And he was going to do everything he needed to make that happen. So some people would think that a real hero is awe-inspiring. And I've never seen another one, so forgive me for these modern references. But there's a picture of this woman who had like 4 children and groceries and a job, and she's just juggling all of these things. And the point was, people and everyone just kept saying, what a strong woman. People like to look at people doing amazing things and say, oh my goodness, you are so strong. Kim Smith is amazing. She's such a strong person. Yes, but still offer to help her carry one of those grocery bags, please. So, whilst we are awe-inspired, I would like to also be action-inspired. Action is what is going to help this legacy live on. Action is what's going to continue the fight. Action is what's going to get us to where we all want to be. So I'm going to end with help us pass the For the People voting race. And again, it was one of those things where I had to stop and explain to my children what they're doing, moving polls, and I explained it in terms of dessert. I said, what if I told you you can have anything you wanted to eat for dinner? We just had to have a family vote, and it's the 3 of us today, because Dad and Deborah. But when it comes time to vote, I say, ooh, what's this math problem? You can't do it, you can't vote, I'm sorry. You can have anything you want, you have the right to vote, but you have to unlock the basement door to get there. You know, and you have to do a series of things like, how unfair is that? And again, they were dumbfounded, and I remain dumbfounded that we are still doing this to ourselves. We are allowing it to be done to us. So we have a legacy to protect. We have a future to fight for. And I am counting on everyone, and everyone's counting on all of us. So let's pass these acts, let's continue to move forward, and let's live in a country that we're proud of.